What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Landon Sanders, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host and good Uncle Raj, and this is the return of Broad Topic. Today, joined by my dad, special guest with us. We are recording a couple of shows tonight, so he's sitting in. We're going to be doing the road trip review, so he's here today. If he has any questions, feel free to ask. We're going to be sitting here, and we're going to be rambling, because that's what we do. Anybody got anything?
What's up, everybody? Good to be back. It's been a minute since we've done a show. I guess we hopefully you enjoyed the vlogs that we put out on the road trip. There was 3 of them, I think.
Yep, 3.
So maybe that gave you a little bit of an idea.
I thought they were cool. I mean, you know, I'm sorry to interrupt here.
No, come on.
No,
Go ahead.
but I thought the sound, you had a little bit of sound going on. You know, you had a little bit of video going on. I enjoyed it. I mean, I wish everybody would just go on and actually watch what y'all have done, because I enjoyed it. So
Cool. Appreciate it.
Until somebody actually goes on and sees this, they don't really know. So
Right.
I mean, I wish somebody would just go on and congratulations, guys, because I thought it was good.
Well, appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
thanks. Well, I mean, as far as the vlogs go, it was just basically, you see something cool, you just take a little 5-minute little recording of it. I just used my phone. Basically, it has, you can do slow motion, you can do a time lapse where you just sit there and hold it for like 10 minutes, and it just records. You know, it's 10 minutes of recording, but it might be like 10 seconds of, you know, whatever you're doing, but it kind of adds a little, little extra to it, plus the music. Just, I mean, as far as editing, it wasn't too much editing, but it definitely was, because every day once we would get home, or back to the hotel, once we would get back to the hotel from doing whatever we were doing, you know, we'd spend an hour and a half, 2 hours putting it all together. It was cool.
I'll be honest. Bub did an hour, hour and a half, and I had a couple drinks. I mean, chilling, going, "Is it done?" And he'd be over there laughing, going, "Oh, this is cool." And then he'd let me watch a little bit of it. And I was like, "That's cool." The thing about the vlog, though, was it just gave you a sample, a little taste. It wasn't meant to show every little detail, because there's a lot of things that we saw on the trip and things that we observed that wasn't in that. You know, that was just enough to, just a little taste, you know. Part of that too is that we thought we would record out almost every minute and take pictures and all that, but you go on trips like that and you actually just kind of, I just want to see it for myself. I mean, forget taking pictures, and I've been known to take pictures and post 100 of them on Facebook, and I took a lot of pictures, but I only posted about 10, 15, 20, because I wanted to see it for myself, because all 3 spots were on my bucket list. So there's a fine line between enjoying it for yourself and not to get off on a side tangent here, but you know, a lot of people are so worried about taking pictures and video that they don't really enjoy it themselves. So, but I think we did enough just to give you a taste, and enough for us to enjoy our own little vlog there. But at the same time, I wanted to just see what we were at, where we were at. You know, sometimes you got to quit worrying about everybody else and see it for yourself. So there was a couple times in town, and all the towns, that we were just seeing stuff for ourselves. So anyways, I didn't mean to go off on that side note there, but
no, that's all right. You know, there's 2 reasons for me personally why there was only 3 vlogs, and there wasn't a whole lot of, you know, just us out and about talking in crowds and stuff. And that's because, you know, wherever we went, there were a lot of people, and it was kind of like, okay, I don't really want to record me sitting here talking when there's 20 people crowded around me.
And they're talking too.
And they're talking too is just a big... That's why a lot of the places we went, I just had music over just little short clips. That's because that was basically the best thing I could get out of some of those places. And then And then another reason that there was only 3, and there wasn't a vlog for the day in Tombstone was at that point I had done so much recording, and like you said, I hadn't really got a chance to take it all in.
So get in, yeah.
So that last day, I was like, this is the last day. I'm just going to, if I want to take pictures, I'll take pictures, but I am not recording a bunch of video and trying to put it all into a video.
Because Tombstone was your main spot you wanted to go.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's good that you, and I was going, hey, take videos of this, and Bo was like, no, I took a little bit, but that was his spot that he wanted to go to, so his main spot. The other ones I think he wanted to go to too, but the main reason of the trip for him was Tombstone. So,
yeah.
But anyways, but it was a fun trip. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Just a lot of driving. I mean, it was just a bunch of flat land and driving through the state of Texas in the Panhandle. It just seemed like it took forever to get through. We got through Hollis. We went through Altus and Hollis, and I don't remember all the highways, sorry, but I know we went through like Memphis, and it just seemed like it was forever. We didn't see people. I mean, then you come across towns, and there would be towns, but it'd be like one house.
Yeah.
It was a weird deal. And then there was one stretch of highway, the last stretch to Roswell, that I think we only saw 3 vehicles the whole time. No houses.
In the desert.
In the damn desert. Now, the only reason we knew there were people out there is because there was fences, so you knew it was ranch land, and you'd have open gates and stuff. So you knew there were people out there, but there was no gas stations. There was just nothing. It was nothing. The first day we didn't even see a police officer. I mean, it was just desolate area. But we made it to Roswell in good time that first day. We were there by 1-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Because we actually went and did stuff that day. So
yeah. Let's just go ahead. We'll break it down. Roswell, Winslow, Tombstone. Just kind of give a little structure to this. Let's start in Roswell. First day in Roswell, like you said, we get there at about 2 o'clock. And then first thing we do, check in the hotel. But then the first thing we do is go straight to the UFO Museum.
Yeah, and both of us driving into Roswell, I was thinking it's going to be a one-road town. Just a little bitty town, just maybe not even 5,000 or 6,000. I was thinking maybe in the hundreds of people, but it was a big town. I mean, they had a military academy there, like for, before you go to college and stuff like that. Anyways, like you said, get to the hotel, we go straight to the UFO Museum. And that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of pictures, little articles, had a UFO in there.
Basically, what it was it was a timeline of the events that happened for that week, from the crash on to then.
Yeah.
And so I had a bunch of articles and stories and just that timeline all the way across. And then, of course, it had other historical posters and pictures. And just so people know, Roswell is not the only crash that happened that people know about. I don't think people understand that. In 1947, the one in Roswell happened. But there's been other crash sites or alleged crash sites. So, and I think they showed some of those and some, like I said, some history stuff. But there was a video we got to watch in the museum that broke down that too, and had witnesses and the story behind it, so you kind of knew what you were following in the museum.
Yeah. And some of the witnesses on that video, we actually, the next day, went on a private tour with a guy who...
a UFO researcher.
He was a UFO researcher who had talked to a lot of these guys that we saw on that video, and he took us all the way around, 2-hour tour around Roswell, seeing all the cool stuff. Got to see the hangar that the alleged bodies were placed in. We got to see a bunch of stuff. We also got to see a plane graveyard. Had nothing to do with UFOs, but it was a plane graveyard.
Yeah, he told us a lot about the history of Roswell. There's a lot more history there than what people actually realize. I think he said, didn't he say Billy the Kid came through there to get to Fort Sumner?
He had gone through there.
And what's his name? Pat Garrett was chasing him through there and stuff. So there was some history of that stuff. So that even made it even cooler. But the UFO researcher's name is Dennis Balthazar or something like that. Balthazar. I can't remember. I don't know exactly how to say it, but he is a certified UFO researcher. He was a civil engineer for 33 years. So he's a smart dude. And he's been on TV, he's been on radio, he's written a book, he's written a lot of editorials. And the first thing he said to us was, "I'm not here to convince you." He goes, "I'm just going to tell you the information that I have, and then you draw your own conclusion." Yeah. And I think we went to 20 different spots.
Yeah. Some of them weren't there anymore.
Right, but we had pictures to go along with it. Yeah. It was really fascinating, and he talked about the atomic bomb, who built out the connection there to Las Cruces. Not Las Cruces, but Los Alamos. We went to Las Cruces on the way back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Los Alamos and all that. There were just some things, and I don't want to try not to get in too much detail because we could talk about Roswell. That we could talk about that tour alone for an hour. But if people haven't done their research, there's a lot of research there that even if you're not a true believer, it'll make you think, something happened. Was it UFO? Was it top military secrets? What was it? Who really knows? But some of the things that he told us, like Bub said, he had talked to first-hand witnesses that were involved. He talked to the children of some of the people that were there. Didn't he, the guy that wrote the article, wasn't he friends with him for a while before he died?
Yeah.
The guy that released the article from the military, the original article and the second article, saying it was a UFO and then retracted the story, said it was a balloon. He knew him and picked his brain for 2 years straight on a daily basis because they worked together. Just some of the information was amazing, and I know you guys listening want to hear some of it, and maybe we can touch on some of it. It was really interesting. I told the guy when I met him, he goes, "Well, what do y'all know?" And I said, "Well, we know something happened." And I go, "I'd put it this way: I'm a skeptic, but I believe, kind of deal. If that makes sense. I'm a believer, but I'm skeptical, or something like that." And he goes, "Well, I'm not going to try to convince you." He goes, "Just take the information for what it is." And so that's what we did.
Yep. Yeah.
No, he did not take us to the crash site.
No.
I asked him about that, though. I said, "Have you been to the crash site?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been out there." He goes, "But it's difficult to get to because it's on private land."
Yeah.
And ranch land. And let me tell you people something. He told us, imagine this, and I hope I get this correct. He goes, "Imagine how big these ranches are." He said there's 300 different areas in one ranch, like 3 different plots, 300. And each one of those squares, there's 300 or 400 acres within those 300 plots. So whatever that, I'm not very good at math. So whatever that square mileage is, that's a lot of damn miles and a lot of damn land. So, anyways, so we didn't go out to the crash site. He said it's difficult to get out there, and the thing is he's told us there's nothing out there because the military, after the crash happened, he said they were out there 3 or 4 days sweeping the land. He said they basically vacuumed it all up. He said they were out there shoulder to shoulder, the military. And if it was a balloon, why were they doing that is my first question. But they were out there for 3 or 4 days just sweeping the area up. So
yeah, it was definitely an interesting tour, whether you believe in UFOs or not. I said that in the vlog. Whether you believe or not, it's an interesting place to go to. If you're ever out in New Mexico, definitely go check it out just because.
Well, and if you can do the private tour, the guy's getting up in age himself, and so he's like, if something happens to me, he goes, there's no one to carry this on. And of course the town's tearing down a lot of the buildings. Basically what he thinks is they're just trying to slowly erase history basically. And so if something happens to him, there's no one to continue these messages on. And the good thing about him, he does have those first-hand stories, and he's talked to people on their deathbed, and he's got recordings on people on their deathbed saying yes, they seen bodies, yes, they seen a UFO. That's on their deathbed. Who's going to lie on their damn deathbed? Maybe, I don't know. But Bub's right. If you get to Roswell, go there. There was a couple other museums. They were cool. They had a couple little art museums, and then some artifact stores and stuff. But go to the UFO museum. It'll take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get through. But if you can get on that private tour with that guy, do it. It's amazing. And it's just me and Bub in his vehicle, and he took us for 2 hours to do all these different spots and showed us all these different sites and those different stories behind it. And I'd love to tell more about the stories, but I just want to, if people are interested, they just need to research it. And I think personally, after doing it, I was already kind of a believer. There's no doubt in my mind a UFO crash there. No doubt in my mind. That's me. I don't think Bubba believes it, but I do.
Well, it sounds like go find out for yourself.
If you're interested, just check it out. Even if you're not interested, just go check it out anyways. You might become a little interested.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out in the desert. But, I mean, Roswell, like you said, like you kind of touched upon, it's not just out in the middle of the desert. Well, it is.
It is out in the middle of the desert.
Is it out? But it's not just like 5 houses and a...
It's a town.
It's an actual...
Man, they got 2 Albertsons there. We went to them.
Yeah. A lot of restaurants, a lot of... Just, it's a booming little town.
Yeah.
Didn't expect it.
They got a college there, which it used to be the Air Force Base. They got a college there, and then...
Yeah.
But anyways, what was funny is after the tour, and Bubba said, he's right, he's in the middle of nowhere. The guy told us, he goes, well, where y'all headed after this? And he's like, well, tomorrow we're heading to Winslow. And he goes, well, whatever you do, no matter which way you go, have a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
And he was not joking.
Nope.
He goes, I'm serious, guys. He goes, it needs to be topped off as full as you can get it. Because he goes, there's nowhere to stop between here and whichever way you go for miles. We said, okay. So we did it.
Yeah. So the next day, get up, drive, 7-8 hours, all the way to Winslow. Got to drive through Albuquerque.
Tell them about Albuquerque.
Albuquerque sucks.
Sucked.
I would not recommend ever driving through Albuquerque.
We were going to stop there in Albuquerque. And it may be a nice little town. I don't know. But we get in there, and I was like, man, we better go ahead and top off because I don't know where we're going from here. And this is the biggest city I knew of between the next stop. And we get into Albuquerque, and it's just something about the place.
Didn't like it.
Didn't like it at all.
Traffic.
Sucked.
The whole entire city, like when you imagine a city, it
looked weird.
It just looked, and it was so spread out. Like you're looking around, you're like, I'm looking for the skyscrapers. Oh, they're 20, 30, 40 miles that way. Like a whole different city over there. Nope, that's still Albuquerque. It's just huge.
It was weird. Yeah, and so I looked at Bub and said, I'm driving through this bitch. I'm out. I'm not doing it, dude.
It's awful.
And Bub was like, I'm with you. Let's go. And I was like, well, I hope we can find a gas spot.
We did. Where'd we stop?
I don't remember what that town was. It was a little janky little town.
Yeah.
But it had gas. So.
But was it a cool place?
Nah, we just stopped at the. Yeah, it's just
just
a town in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of nothing. Just a little town, and it said gas, so I pulled in, and
it was like
I don't remember the name.
It was definitely
just a little bitty town.
It had a Taco Bell though.
It did have a Taco Bell.
We could have got Taco. No, we stopped at like the most ghetto gas station you could stop at too. Yeah. I mean,
we got out like we owned it. It didn't matter.
Yeah. You know what I love about New Mexico and Arizona, by the way, and this has nothing to do with any of the trip, but Arizona and New Mexico, when you stop into a gas station, you go into the convenience store, like the food part and the chips. You know how like they have those Mexican chips and like you know what I'm talking about, like Takis and like I found those little like pretzel and like other little stuff mixes. You know what I'm talking about? Well, the mixes that they had were like sriracha, were like Mexican flame. Like hot stuff everywhere you go. That's what I like about New Mexico and Arizona.
Well, hey. Each their own, man.
Was that any good?
Yeah, it was really good.
And I always got the cheese nips or whatever the hell they're called.
The Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its, yeah. So, anyways, we get through Albuquerque and that little janky gas station, wherever it was, and we drive forever again.
And there's just like mesas and plateaus everywhere.
It's just driving, and just finally we get to Winslow.
I'm already done by that time.
Yeah, we're both just irritated, done, and
yelling at each other.
Yeah, we get to the room. we get to the hotel, and I walk in, and they go, "Can we help you?" Now, mind you, there's not a single car in the parking lot, right?
Not one.
So I go in, and they say, "Can I help you?" I say, "Yeah, I'm here to check in." And he's like, "We don't have no rooms." I said, "What do you mean you ain't have no rooms? I booked a room." He goes, "Well, they're not clean." I'm like, "Ain't one damn room clean at 1 o'clock?" I mean, he goes, "Well, we were packed last night." And Bubba's just looking at me like, "There ain't no damn cars in the parking lot. How can you be packed?" So I said, I looked right at the guy, and usually I try to keep my calm with staff and places like that, people trying to help you. I go, "This is some shit." And just looked right at me, and he goes, "Well, hold on, let me get on the computer." And he was trying to talk. He's like, "Sir," he goes, we're trying to get to it. And I was like, and Bub walks outside by then. I'm starting going, and he goes, "Well, it'll be ready by 3 o'clock." And I go, "What the hell am I going to do because my goal was to check in, take a little nap, then go what we're going to go do." So that changed our whole schedule, which anybody that knows me, I'm irritated. That's a good word for it. Irritated at that point. I'm about to lose it. Bubba's already lost it. So I got to the car. I'm like, "What are we going to do? Let's look on the map and see where the corner is." And there's tons of corners in Winslow, Arizona, but
we got to find
the corner. So we're a little irritated. In the town itself, outside of that little park area, they called it the corner park or whatever.
Yeah.
Winslow's a janky little town.
It's ghetto.
It's ghetto. I mean, it's just janky. Don't take no offense to anybody listening from Winslow. It's just, whatever. So we go down there, and we finally get to this main street, and we take a left, and all we see is a bunch of people on the corner. And Bubba goes, "Are you kidding me? What are all these people doing here?"
I was like, this is a corner in Winslow, Arizona. What?
And Bubba's getting mad. I'm like, "Calm down, Bubba. It's a destination spot." And he's like, just irritated that there's people in Winslow, Arizona standing on the corner.
I was like, it's
taking
Winslow,
pictures.
Arizona.
And then what made it worse is I was trying to drive past the corner, and people try to walk out in front of you, and I'm like, "No, I gotta find a parking spot." And there ain't hardly anywhere to park.
No. We had to park in some like city council parking lot.
Yeah, I took over. I just parked in there. I was like, "I hope we don't get towed." So we walk back. Now you gotta understand the park area is only about 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Not 2 blocks each way, just 2 blocks and maybe half a block down going north and south. And which is cool. Hey, I want to go stand on the corner. So we got into the corner of Winslow, Arizona. You know, that big 66 for Route 66 on the street, and of course I took a picture. And
they had Take It Easy playing on the loudspeakers.
They had the Eagles playing, so you know I was good. I was good at that point. They had the Eagles, and Bubba's like, "I'm hungry." I was like, "I know you are, because I can tell you're pissed." So we go and eat at a little cafe. Pretty good little burger I think we had there, didn't we?
Yeah, it was. We had the patty melt, didn't we?
Had a patty melt. It was pretty delicious. So then we were able to calm down after we got some food in the belly. I was like, "All right, let's go to the corner and take our picture."
And we did.
Went and took a picture and listened to a little bit of music. And then they had one little museum. After we did that, took the picture of the truck and had somebody take our picture and all that. And so you see it, and you see the whole thing in about 5 minutes. I mean, even if that.
Yeah.
So there's a little museum there. I was like, "Let's go down this museum." Walk in the museum. It's like a room no bigger than this. But the history of Winslow, there used to be trains that come through there, I guess, settling the West, I guess.
Yeah.
And the lady came up to me and was talking to me, and she's telling me the story, and I was like, "I'll listen to your story." Bubba wasn't having none of it. He was like, "I'm out."
I was walking around.
He goes, "I'm going to go look at stuff while you talk to this old lady, and she tells you the story of Winslow." I'm like,
I didn't need it.
Bubba was done with it. And so she was telling me that the trains come through, but what was weird about the whole deal was like people got mad because I think this is what she was telling me. The train company used to hire young women. And I'm assuming they were, if it was nowadays, they'd be...
She called them maids.
Maids.
They would come in and they would work for people.
Work for people and stuff like. And I was like, she
prostitutes.
called them young. I was going to throw it out there. I didn't want to say it in front of her. I was like, them are prostitutes serving up them old dudes with money and stuff.
Yeah.
But what my gut instinct is they were probably underage, especially for now. Like if it was nowadays, people would be going to jail over it probably, and not probably they would be.
Yeah.
But they were maids and handing out drinks and stuff. Yeah, they were handing out
Drinks.
Maybe I have a cynical mind about it, but
no,
there's no doubt they were serving stuff up in the trains. But anyways, so I got that history, looked around. It took 2 minutes looking there. Then went gift shop. Of course, I had to find koozies from. I also got koozies at Roswell, didn't I?
You got koozies everywhere.
That's what I do. I got koozies everywhere.
I don't have one.
They're around here somewhere. Hell, I hope I brought them back, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. They're somewhere.
They're somewhere. Now you got me worried, man. I'm going to have to find my koozies. I got the standing on the corner koozie. I got a Roswell. Anyway, so that's about it. And we looked at that little souvenir shop and got in the car and got lost going back to the hotel, which pissed me off. And finally get back there. And it's like, what, 3 o'clock maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And at that time, we started thinking, damn, maybe we should have just drove to Tombstone after this. But it would have been another 7 hours on the road, and I wasn't doing it.
Yeah, and after driving it the next day, I realized, that would have been a bad idea.
It would have been terrible. It would have been a terrible mistake.
I mean, we could have done it. Could have. We did it on the way back home, 13, 14-hour drive.
We would have got to Tombstone, and we got to see stuff early. But anyways, we get back to the room. We finally get into the room. Woo! Man.
Nasty hotel.
Nasty. Well, it felt nasty. Maybe it wasn't. It just kind of felt.
It just had that nasty vibe. Like a black layer on the tub of the shower.
Yeah, and they had really cleaned the toilets and stuff. And I was like, but it's the only place to stay in town. I mean, it's like. Basically,
yeah.
And by then, though, what was funny, the damn place started filling up with people. Mm-hmm. So it was like, well, hell, maybe they were telling us the truth. So anyways, Bub was just like concerned. He's like, man, I don't want to sleep on this bed. I said, well, here's what you do. I've got experience on this. Stay in your clothes. Just wear your clothes. Whatever. Just stay t-shirt, shorts, socks, whatever. Sleep on the top. Don't get in the covers. And then just roll up. So if you would have came in, you would have seen us in our full clothes, rolled up like a damn
caterpillar.
Yeah, or
in a cocoon.
Pig in the blanket.
I would have been there. I would have done something.
I mean, and so it was about 5 a.m. We was like, let's hit the road. Let's get out of here. I mean, yeah. And the hallway was hot.
The hallway was like
150 degrees.
Yeah. Now that's one thing I haven't mentioned all podcast, but I did mention it in the vlogs a couple times. I love the desert heat. I fell in love with it because out here in Oklahoma, you walk outside, it says 95, it feels like 105 because the humidity is crazy. You're already sweating. Boom.
Can't breathe.
Get out there, it says 105. You're like, it feels like 75. Like, you love it.
And you could breathe.
Yeah.
You could breathe.
You didn't sweat.
Like, it's hard to breathe here in Oklahoma, but you get out there, it's like easy to breathe.
And you don't sweat everywhere you go.
But it did get hot. If you stand outside too long, it did get hot.
I got sunburnt.
Yeah.
It's hot, but it's not, like, unbearable.
Yeah. So anyways, we walk in the hotel and the hallways and stuff, and it's just, I mean, it's like 175 damn degrees in there.
It was bad.
It was terrible. I was like, holy hell, hope the rooms aren't like this. So we get in, of course, I crank it down to about 68, like just get cold. Anyways, we get some, we had Pizza Hut that night, and we ordered up. Nicest dude ever gave us our pizza and stuff. He was like, hey, wait, y'all need anything else? I was like, hell, I need some plates and some cups and some napkins. He's like, yeah, no problem.
No offense to the Marlowe Pizza Hut, but they know how to do it.
Serving it up. He's like, you need anything else? I like some ranch. He goes, you want these cups? And Bo's like, he goes, I'll be honest with you. The stuff on the bar is better, on the salad bar is better. So he gave us little cups to fill those up. And I was like, this dude right here. That's customer service. Why can't all people be like that? Hey, dude trying to make $1. So, anyway, that was cool. But that's the only place to eat in town was Pizza Hut or
like Taco Bell across the street. There's a Taco Bell / Long John Silver's. Isn't that a combination that'll just make you have the runs?
So anyways, that was our And of course, we got up at 5 the next morning, too, just get the hell out of there. I mean, we was ready to go. And, hey, I did my bucket list, stand on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. Rest of that place, impressive.
It can stay in Winslow.
And I don't want to be talking bad about Winslow. I'm sure there's good people out there, stuff, but
plus the getting into Winslow off the interstate, weird.
It is weird. Weird turn lanes.
It's not like in Oklahoma.
It's like it's doing crosses, like crosses that bend through each other. It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got up. We head south to Tombstone.
Yep, and that was a long drive.
And as we're leaving Winslow, and we were like, "Peace out, Winslow." They have a federal prison south of Winslow.
Yep.
Who the hell knew that?
Yeah.
Of course, there's some road construction, and then what was funny about that drive was probably an hour into it, maybe. Next thing you know, we're in the desert. Next thing we're in a damn forest with like mountains and shit.
Yeah, like altitudes of 15,000 feet.
Yeah, they had like signs like 6% incline and declines, and like had warning signs like shut that stuff down because you're. And matter of fact, I drove through that place pretty much without my foot on the gas. I just let it do its thing, and I probably averaged 65 miles an hour through there, just with not even putting my foot on the gas. I had to put my foot on the brake to slow down because some of the hills were so damn steep. But it was pretty.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. No cell phone service.
Oh, no.
No internet. No nothing. Nothing. I mean, you get lost out there, you're done.
And I told Bub look for Bigfoot. He wouldn't do it. He's like, there ain't no Bigfoot. And I'm like, yeah, there's definitely a Bigfoot up in here. There ain't no doubt. There's too much damn woods up in here. Mountains. Matter of fact, there's a little town we thought of you, Stephen. A little town of
Strawberry, Arizona.
Yeah. We was like, Stephen would love to live here.
I
up
mean,
in the mountains, places to go fishing.
Trees everywhere. I mean, you can't see the town until you get into it.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty.
I mean, this is one of those.
The town wasn't pretty, just the area was pretty.
Cabins everywhere.
Yeah.
It's one of those places like you'd imagine like a lumberjack living. Just a long beard.
Might make you think of
denim.
Crystal Lake with Jason Voorhees and might try to chop you up.
That too. That too.
Maybe not like that, but
that much chance.
But then there was a town.
You would have liked it.
There was a town right after that. What was it called? Payson, Arizona. It was definitely a lot bigger. Had a Walmart. Couple.
Oh yeah, that was a nice little town.
It was a nice little town, just out in the mountains. Had a Walmart, places to eat. I mean, it was definitely. I'd live there.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Because it was weird though. It's just right in the middle of Arizona. There's mountains and these trees, and like Bub said, we were getting up to 10 and 15,000 feet, and then coming right back down. And we thought we were out of it a couple times, and then it just did it again. It was like
ears popping,
and so it was nice. But we thought of you because we was like, this is where Steven would love to get away and just. I mean, just
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and I was like, hell, I'd be out here with him.
Nobody'd bother you.
Yeah, I mean, hell, maybe Bigfoot or something. But maybe you might hear some banjos out there. I don't know. It was kind of like that Ozark stuff.
It was definitely like it's like Missouri. It was basically like that. It was Ozark kind of
looking. But anyways, we get through that and driving, and finally, Bubba gets to see his damn cactus he was looking for.
I was looking for a saguaro cactus the entire time. I was like, when am I going to see a cactus? Finally got to see one. I don't remember. It was right after we got out of those mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, boom, cactuses everywhere.
The environment just changed. Just all them big-ass cactuses. And I was like, some of them are probably about 20, 30 feet. And he goes, no, they're not. And then we drove by some. They were probably like 50 foot. They were huge. Huge. I was like, damn, them are big old dudes right there.
Yeah.
Then finally we get to Tucson.
No, we went to Phoenix first.
Phoenix. So that's my second time to be in Phoenix.
I'd never been. But Phoenix was cool.
Yeah, I could live in Phoenix.
Yeah, I could too. Driving through Phoenix, first ever 7-lane highway I'd ever seen. 7 lanes both sides. 14 lanes total.
And we thought it was going to be hell getting through there.
Wasn't
I was
bad.
like, Bubba, get the GPS, get me going, give me about 5 minutes per exit.
Wasn't bad.
It was smooth. Maybe it get worse down in town, but
When you got 14 lanes.
I mean, it was smooth getting through.
It was great.
So we got through that, and Bubba by then is like craving, what was it, In-N-Out?
In-N-Out Burger. Oh my gosh. If you have not had an In-N-Out Burger, I said this on the vlog. I know I keep saying that. So you better go watch the vlog if you haven't. All 3 of them. In-N-Out Burger is delicious. Delicious. And it's only in like California. It's only in California, Arizona, one in Texas, I think. Delicious. Best fast food burger.
We did it nasty style, I think.
Animal style.
Animal style. Nasty animal, whatever. I guess it's not on the menu deal. It was pretty good burger. It's still not as good as Nick's up in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but this is fast food. Nick's isn't fast food.
Well,
you're comparing two different things.
It's a burger, man. It's pretty good, but I'm not like Bubba going over that like that. But all right, go ahead.
That was in Tucson. Tucson, I'd live in Tucson. Tucson was beautiful.
Now we went through the hood part, I think, but
well, we did kind of go through the hood part, but we also got into like a little outskirt of Tucson.
And it looked kind of nice.
It was like palm trees everywhere. Nice little mall we were around. Expensive. You could tell it's just expensive. There's a lot of rich people in that town. You could tell.
Probably, yeah.
Beautiful town.
Isn't that where the Arizona Wildcats are at? Tucson?
Maybe. Beautiful town. Check it out. I kept saying Tucson was the capital for some reason. It's actually Phoenix. I don't know why I got that all jumbled up, but you know. Oh well.
Well, it was funny every time we went through though. After Hollis, Bubba's going, mark it off the bucket list. Mark it off the bucket list. So we knocked off about 150 towns off the bucket list.
Albuquerque, Phoenix, Tucson.
And all them little other janky little towns that you don't want to stop in.
Yeah.
Then finally made it to Tombstone
after
going through a couple little bitty weird looking towns.
Yeah, there were a couple little. What's up?
Tombstone.
Well, tell them right before we got right outside of Tombstone, we kind of freaked out for a second because what we saw, we thought we were going to have to stop.
Border Patrol?
Yeah.
Oh, man. We get...
They're going to get you right.
Going through into Tombstone, we didn't have to deal with them. They were only on the other side going out of Tombstone, so we didn't have to deal with them. We'll talk about that
in a little bit.
But we get into Tombstone after what seemed like an eternity.
It was another 7-hour drive. Of course, we were smart. We left at like 5:30 a.m.
Like 4:30, 5:30. I mean, it was...
Which is on the vlogs. But anyways.
Yeah.
So guess what happened when we get to the...
So we get to Tombstone, and we go into the hotel.
And I want to say this. I made the correct decision by getting the hotel there. Did I not?
Yeah.
Because the next hotels were in Sierra.
Some like 20, 30-minute town.
Another 30 minutes away. So I was correct by going off the grid and... getting the grid.
It was a nice hotel.
It was nice.
Very nice hotel.
But anyways, go ahead. We get there and tell them what happened.
So we get there. It was probably noon. We got there about noon because we had got up so early. Get there. We go, we're checking in. They said, no, you're not. They said, well, you can't check in until 3 o'clock. Well, what are we going to do for 3 hours? Oh, I guess you're going to go down the main road.
Once again, the plan was to check in, get in, take a little nap after driving,
and then go.
And hell, our plans changed again.
So we go down, and the way you get down to, what was it named? Allen Street?
Allen Street.
Allen Street's the main street where everything's on. So we went down to Allen Street, and you got to find parking. And parking, you're basically parking in people's yards because that's all you can do.
Basically, the street we came in on was Fremont, which is one of the original streets also in Tombstone. So we come in, and she goes, when you get to this street, take a right, and then you'll go to Allen Street, then you should be able to park anywhere. Well, she said there's parking lots, but there wasn't a lot of really parking lots.
No, you basically just had to kind of find a little spot to parallel park.
So I was like, I saw some cars parking in the street, and I was like, hell, I'm just going to park here. So I parked in the damn street.
Yep.
I mean, I wasn't in the middle of the street. But so I got out, and the next thing I know, I was the only car, and these people were about to leave. I was like, hey, can we park here? They're like, we think so. I was like, okay, whatever. So.
Yeah, sorry. So we're on the street,
which
and we
was cool.
It was. If you haven't been to Tombstone, I will say this: you gotta go. It was beautiful.
If you like history, if you like Western history, if you like cowboy history, if you just love that era of Americana. I mean, I walked up that street, and they had the east-west. What they did is they blocked it off at every intersection so you could go north-south, but you couldn't go east-west, so they blocked it off. And you get out, and there's cowboys standing in the middle of the road. I mean, dudes, cowboys, guns and shit.
Yeah.
And
some of them real, some of them show.
I just instantly got tingles. I was like, man, we're about to walk. And, I mean, everywhere we've been was history, but this is like...
they made a movie about
history. I mean, this is... You're walking where Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, all them dudes walked. So I was instantly just like a little kid. I mean, I'm 41.
And he was.
I was
he was.
I was like 13 or something again walking through there. I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've been in. This is it.
First things first, we're just kind of walking down the street, checking everything out. Lots of cool little places. First thing we do is we're just walking down, see Big Nose Kate's. That's cool. Go walking down. Well, first, OK Corral. You're like, OK Corral, and you walk a little further. Big Nose Kate's. Just keep on walking. Boom. Birdcage. The 3 coolest places in Tombstone. 3 coolest places in the world. So then
birdcage.
We'll get to the birdcage.
We'll get to the birdcage.
So we end up, what we do is we kind of take a little left and we go down to the epitaph. Well, no, first we go down to Old Tombstone. There's like a little show area with the mini golf and little museum.
Yeah, it's a kind of rebuilt deal. And they had a gunfighter museum there, which we'll get to that in a minute because this dude was closed.
Yeah, he was closed the first day.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this. We walk up, and you got to pay to get in that little area. Of course, by then I'm hot and I'm thirsty.
You didn't have to pay to get into the area.
Oh, we didn't, did we? I had to pay. We'll get to the paying part then.
Yeah.
I think I was just confused because I seen the cutest little cowgirl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, she was
pretty. Yeah. She wasn't a little cowgirl. She was a grown damn woman, but oh my gosh, blonde hair. I mean,
accent.
Yeah. I had to just think of a question just to talk to her. I was like, so how come this is not? And I had to ask her some questions. Normally I'd move on, but I had to ask about 2 or 3 questions because she was pretty. Oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, I'm at home now. Anyways, wipe up the drool. And Bubba, was she pretty?
Yeah.
She was pretty.
She was.
So we go in there and she goes, you can get drinks. And I was like, hold on. What kind of drinks you talking about? She's like, adult drinks. I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
So we go into this little saloon. Well, it wasn't a saloon. It's more like what you'd imagine, like a Mexican, like a cantina.
Yeah, it was a little bitty hut, actually, what it looked like was a kid's playhouse, but it was like old timey. But you could go in there and get a beer. It's like they just built it. And what you do is you pay. You go in, there's a gunfight show there, and after you see the gunfight, you can play putt, and then you can go in the little bitty jail there. But I went to the bar, of course, and got me a drink because I was thirsty and it was hot. I might have got 2.
No,
right?
No.
I got you a water.
Yeah, I got a water.
I got 1 maybe.
Yeah.
But you can't leave the area, so I had to drink it. You can't take it out, so I had to drink it. I couldn't waste it.
So we hung in there for about 10 minutes, and then after that we went down, walking around, looking at stuff. We're like, well, so we went down to the epitaph, the old epitaph. Got to walk in there and see some cool stuff. We weren't in there for very long. And then after that...
Yeah, check this out, though. They were going to charge me $10 in that epitaph to use my debit card.
Yeah.
He goes, there's a $10 charge for this, sir. And I go, hell no. I say, I've got cash on me. Double birds. $10 charge on my card. $10 on like a $3 deal.
Yeah. That's $13 for
like,
$3 worth of
Yeah, I was
stuff.
like, double birds to you, dude. I'm out. Here's $3.
But anyway,
oh, it starts pouring while we're in there.
Pouring rain. I mean,
which cooled off everything.
Yeah, but we were just like, we asked the guy, we're like, how long is it gonna rain? He said, all day. We're like, well, we gotta go now then, I guess. So luckily we got out and they have cover, so we were just walking under cover. Then we go down, we find the haunted Tombstone, whatever it was.
Yeah, it's just a little gimmick deal.
Little gimmick.
I'm like, hey, we're here, let's experience it.
Walk in, pay $10 a person or something like that. I don't remember. They take you through.
We get to the stagecoach. You go through these curtains.
And then it's got a little screen with a ghost, Doc Holliday, telling the stories and stuff. But then they start shooting at you.
Shooting at you, man.
I'm like, what?
Well, it was like with air, but
Like
it
a little
scares
air.
the shit
But
out
it's
of
like,
you though, because it's like, whew, you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Because he's like, there's the Indians or something like that, and guns. And I guess they're talking about gunshots and
Arrows
and it just starts shooting arrows. And the first one just scares the crap out of you. He's like, oh crap, because it's loud.
And you can feel the air.
And I think you put the last part on.
I put all of that
On the video,
on the vlog. You can check that out if you go check out the vlog. That'd be the West is Wild episode.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked that out already, go check that out on Broad Topic YouTube.
So, anyways, we get out of there.
We get out of there. We went through there.
It was pretty neat.
It was
worth my $10.
Yeah. We get out of there and we're
And
like,
I'm thirsty.
What are we doing? What are we doing with
We
our
still
lives?
got another 2 hours till we can check in.
Yeah. We're like, what are we doing with our lives? So guess what? We found a local bar. I didn't drink because I'm, not 21. But
Not
we went
local
in.
bar like outside there, but it was on Allen Street where the main street was.
Well, there's saloons.
It's a saloon
everywhere, but there's a local bar that's
Within
actual
those.
like
where the locals go.
where like people can go until like 2 a.m. kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we go in, we're playing pool.
Well, you get over there, and Bubba's kind of like, oh, I don't know if go in. I was like, I don't know if you go in either or not. And so I just asked him, say, hey, what's the age limit on this? And they really didn't say nothing. I was like, I need a drink. And he's like, well, go ahead. We'll be in there. I said, can he go in? He's under 21. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. They just said set away from the bar. It's like, okay, they're cool with it.
Yeah.
So there was only like 4 people in there, including, 6 including us.
Yeah.
And I'm thirsty. You know me, I'm thirsty. So she finally comes in, ordering me a beer, and Bubba goes, let's play some pool.
Yeah. And I hadn't played in like 2 months.
I ain't played in years.
Well, you once you got to drinking and I got to scratching on the 8 ball, things just went downhill.
It's called domination.
And then once I got more and more mad, I just got worse. So
Well, and let me tell you something. At first, my bartender was terrible because I had 1 beer and we started playing pool. And I went to the bar and said, hey, I need a beer. And I thought she said okay, so I went back to playing pool. It was like 10 minutes later. I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I finally get over there, and I'm like waving her down. I said, I need 2 beers. She goes, you drinking them both? I was like, hell yeah, I'm drinking them both. What are you talking about? I said, he's driving. And so then she realized I'm not there to play around. so
We've been there before.
she knew after that. Because when I went back up there, she goes, you need 2? I said, no, I'm good now as long as you got me. And she's like, yeah. So we played about 6-7 games of pool, and not to keep going here, but I think I posted on Facebook. I'm playing pool and drinking beer in Tombstone, and that might, for me, was really cool. That might have been the coolest part because I was just thinking to myself, man, Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, probably drank beer in this town, played pool in this town, and I'm doing what they did in this town on Allen Street. They probably walked up and maybe not this exact place because Tombstone burned down 2 different times, but just maybe this exact plot of land maybe. And I'm doing this. I'm doing exactly what they did. And to me, that was the coolest thing ever. And I think I posted it on Facebook. I was like, are you serious? Playing pool and drinking beer in Tombstone? That was cool to start your day. That was real cool to start the Tombstone part of it. And I was enjoying it. And then they had a jukebox going. I was just like, I told Bo, I looked at him and go, man, I feel at home right here. I feel like this would be, if I lived here, I'd be here all the time. This is it.
Yeah, I couldn't get him to leave.
Bo was like, it's 3 o'clock, we need to go. And I was like, man, just one more game. It's on me. I will pay for it. And so I put some music in, and I messed it up. I ended up putting Van Halen. They said, don't play no rock songs. This is a country place.
Well, they said don't play, like, heavy metal. You could play, like, because they were playing, like, old school rock.
So I ended up putting on Van Halen somehow. I don't even know how I did it. And I think I did a Diamond Rio song. But anyways, we got to talking to the bartender on the way out. She loosened up and figured out we were there. And she knew we weren't locals, but she was just telling us that this was actually their down part of the year, because we were like, it's busy, but it's not like overly crowded here.
Winslow's busier.
So it was cool. She goes, she goes, about football season. Well, I actually said football season. She goes, yeah, football season. She goes, that's when all the out of country people, like people from Canada, and she goes, like Japan and stuff, people come in to that, and they go, they're really busy then. But she goes, yeah, this is our local bar. She goes, if y'all want to come back, she goes, we're open till 2 a.m. She goes, everything else closes at 9, I think, 8 or 9. The whole place shuts down at 8 or 9. She goes, but we'll be open if y'all want to come back. And I said, so anyways,
After that, we just went back to the hotel, and then we finally went back into town later to eat dinner. We ate at the Longhorn. Great little place. Everywhere we ate in Tombstone was good.
Pretty good.
First, we ate at the Longhorn that night. I had the fried cod. You had the chicken fry.
I did beat up a chicken fry that night, didn't I?
Yeah. And the potato skins were like actual like potatoes cut in half.
And they were good serving sizes.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Like you said, they were real potato skin. I mean, like real potatoes cut up. And we had to take them back. We couldn't even eat them all.
Yeah. And so next day we get up. We didn't get up too early. We were
because we already seen half of it already for half the day.
So the next day we go back into town. We're just checking stuff out, hanging out.
We had to go get we tried to go get our tickets for the Birdcage Ghost Tour.
Yeah, so we had set up to where we were gonna go to the Birdcage to do a ghost tour at 8:00. We go down there and they're like, "Well, no one signed up for the 8:00, so and they have to have more than 2 people.
Well, they have to have
at least 3.
At least 3 people, and one of them has to be a female.
Yeah,
because the lady that gives you they're women that give you the tour.
Yeah. So we get there, and they're like, well, no one signed up, so we'll put your name down. We'll call you if we get anything. So that day, we just kind of hung out.
Well, we ended up going, we went and checked the Gunfighter Museum. It had been closed for 2 weeks.
We finally got
We happened to just go down there. I said, Bubba, let's go check this one more time. And as we was walking, I noticed the gate was open. I was like, we're going in. And I had no more money. I had money on me, but it's like emergency money, like $100 bill. I always keep $100. I shouldn't say that, but $100 bill on me for emergencies. Because usually, any kind of trouble you get in, $100 bill probably gets you out of it, whether you break down or whatever. So I go in, and it's like $8 per person. And the guy, me and Bubba was the only ones there, and the guy was in there. And I go, you take cash or you take a debit card? And he goes, man, I only take cash. I'm like, shit. I said, I ain't got no cash on me. Or I said, I got a little bit of cash on me. He goes, well, how much you got on you? I said, well, I've got $8 total. He goes, well, who's with you? Is that your son, your brother? I said, well, that's my nephew. I said, we're on a road trip. He goes, I'll tell you what. He goes, I'll let you in both for $4. I said, hell yeah, you're a good dude, man. So I paid him the $8, which was still ridiculous, but better than 16.
Yeah.
So we go in, and he's just immediately just starts talking to us like, hey, I've got legit guns. These are like the authentic guns from these people. A lot of them. Some of them are replicas from the movies and stuff, but he had some of the real guns from some of the gunslingers and stuff. He goes, I think they said he has the best collection in the world of guns and just everything. He had guns and boots and clothes and
knives, all kinds of stuff.
It's just all kinds of stuff, and it was a cool little. So if you go to Tombstone, you got to go check out the Gunfighter.
Yeah, hopefully it's open when you go.
Yeah. So we went through that, then we went through the old courthouse, which it started raining again on us walking down there. Which is the old courthouse, and it's like 100 and some odd years old. So we got to walk through that. That was pretty neat.
Yeah. No air conditioning in there, was there?
No, they had windows open. It was hot.
It was so hot.
But it was
because it rained, so the humidity picked up. I was like, "This ain't the desert."
Let's get outside. Let's get the rain on us. But that was cool. The old courthouse, and there's a couple other houses there that had been standing for over 100 years old. So I think I took little pictures of them just because they're old ass houses. I mean, they're still standing. I mean, so that's pretty cool. And I think, what did we do after that?
After that, did we just go back to the hotel?
I think we went back to the
We just went back to the room. By that time, it had kind of gotten to the afternoon.
And they called us and said, do you want to go on the 6 o'clock tour? But they allow kids on that one. And I'm like, I think we decided to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we were going to do it just because we were like, well, it's our last day. We just got to get it. We just want to see it.
We planned to say another day, but since we'd seen everything we needed to see at the time, we were like, all right, that's our last thing. So we changed our schedule mid-flight there. So we go back into town.
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and we're there. And as I'm standing outside the birdcage to check in, get a phone call from the birdcage.
Yeah.
And they go, we heard that y'all wanted the 8 o'clock tour. And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, we got a couple other people that want to do it. Do y'all want to change, or do y'all want to do it at 8 now? I said, well, I'm standing outside the birdcage right now. He goes, well, if you want to do the 8 o'clock, we got 2 more people if you want to do it. I was like, yeah, I want to do the 8 o'clock. I want the damn kids around. So we rescheduled to 8.
Yeah, so we went back to the hotel for about 30 minutes, charged our phones, just kind of hung out 30 minutes. Went back and ate one of the best burgers I've ever had.
Where was that one at?
It was the Crystal Palace Saloon.
Yeah. Yeah.
All their burgers are on Texas toast. You got the double barrel, which is...
Beat me up.
It was,
oh my gosh, it was delicious.
Double meat, bacon, cheese. That was basically it.
It was just badass.
I got the cowboy. The cowboy was meat, cheese, bacon, barbecue sauce, and an onion ring on top.
And I wanted a drink so bad with it, but I had to have Pepsi.
Because you can't drink before the ghost tour.
Ghost tour.
I guess because they're turning out lights.
Well, they said you could have 1 or 2. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to have just 1. So.
Because they're turning out lights and they're going through. They just don't want people being drunk and knocking stuff up. I mean, I can.
And they can refuse you if they smell beer on you, so or whatever on your liquor or whatever.
Yeah. So
tell them about the cool ass waiter we had and tell us the story.
Okay, so this is probably one of the best stories from the entire time. We got a cool waiter. Dude was from Iowa, something like that. He'd moved to a town near Tombstone. He said it was his 5th day working there. He said,
and we asked him where he lived before you get into the funny part. It was funny, but this part was funny too about the gas, because I asked him where he lived, and he said, well, a little small outside of Tombstone. I said, that one out here that you can see from because Tombstone's kind of on a hill, so you can kind of see down there. He goes, no, not that one. He goes, past the mountains, there's another town about 30, 45, or whatever it is. And I told him, I said, yeah, I told him about Roswell, but having make sure you fill the tank of gas. And he goes, yeah. He goes, well, I carry a spare gas can in my car. He goes, because there's nowhere to get gas. He goes, the one gas station, the guy hasn't updated. He only takes cash. So you can't run a debit card or anything out there. He takes cash. How many people carry cash on? And if you're just traveling, who in the hell would know that?
Yeah.
He goes, I've sat out there and seen hundreds of cars just drive off because the guy won't. I'm like, damn, I need to put a gas station out there and have a little debit card or something. I'll make a killing out there. But anyways, he goes, I carry a spare gas can full of gas in my car just in case. That ought to tell you where in the hell you're at.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell me.
So he's telling us this is his fifth day on the job, and he said he had already seen, because what people do is the local cowboys. Okay, well, bye.
Well, bye.
But the local cowboys will come into town at like 11 a.m. and drink until like 2 in the afternoon, just day drinking.
Day drink, because I guess they don't have jobs.
I guess not. They're busy drinking. So they come down and they get completely plastered by 2 in the afternoon, get into fights with each other, and try to go out in the street and have gunfights like it's the old West.
And he goes, it's funny because some of them actually are wearing real guns on their heads.
They come in with real guns.
They get in fights and try to shoot at each other.
Like they're going 10 paces. This is real. This is legit.
We thought this dude was full of it.
No. But
he goes, but there's always fist fights, always. But he
always.
goes, sometimes they like want to shoot at each other and stuff because they got like guns on their head, like cowboys, like real damn cowboys.
Yeah, but he said they've had to call in the marshals, all kinds of stuff. But anyways, so after that we go down to the birdcage. We're waiting outside because they're still doing that other tour. We're talking to some people. There's at that local bar,
which is only two or three doors down.
2-3 doors down. there's a guy yelling at this other guy, and they're about to get into a fight. Like
right there.
We're seeing it personally. This is real stuff.
We just heard the story, and this dude is going on, and he's cussing this lady out.
Yep. Cussing everybody out.
And I heard something about his daughter, and I was like, oh, it's about to get real now. If somebody says something about this dude's daughter, somebody's getting shot tonight.
Someone's going 6 feet under today.
It was funny that dude told us that, and then the local damn bar, and this was not even 8 o'clock yet, and these people are wanting to fight in the middle of the damn street, just yelling and cussing, and I was like, oh my gosh,
But anyways, we go in. We finally made it. It's the birdcage. It's time for the ghost tour. 8 o'clock rolls around. So we go inside. The birdcage was absolutely the coolest place I'd probably been in. I mean, it just was old history.
The history was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. But as far as like being creepy, I didn't ever get like
it could have been creepy though.
It could have been, but for some reason I just was not feeling the creepy vibe.
When we get there, you have to sign a waiver.
Yeah, we had to sign a waiver.
And I'll be honest, I didn't read it. She asked me if I read it later, and I told her I did, but hell, I don't read it.
I didn't read it either.
I just signed the damn thing and moved on. I was like, I ain't taking up people's time here. Anyways, there's only 6 of us, 7 including the tour lady. Mm-hmm. So she starts giving the history of the birdcage, which was amazing. The story behind it, the gambling, the prostitution, the drinking, just the story. It burned up once, except for the walls. It just kind of burned because Tombstone burnt twice. But birdcage was still one of the original buildings, even though it caught on fire. The building itself is still original. And just like Bubba said, the history. The old bar is still in the place. I mean, the catwalk, just the story behind it was absolutely. And so what I'd try to do while I was in there is just kind of, as she's telling it, because it's kind of been remodeled a little bit. Mm-hmm. They've put up a wall and stuff so you just can't see in there. I try to just visualize like I was there, mm-hmm. And it was very. Very just amazing is what it was. It's a definite. If you're into that stuff, you got to go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. So we go through the whole place. She's telling us little ghost stories and stuff, telling us also history. We finally get done with the tour, and they set us up on the stage.
Tell them about the basement before you get into that.
Okay. Well, first we go into the basement.
Which is not really a basement per se. It is, but it's where the high rollers went.
Yeah.
And then they had some doors down there for the ladies of the night.
Well, they had the what they called cribs up in the top.
Yeah.
But they were $20 for a girl. Go downstairs, that's where the high rollers went. $40 a girl. And then the poker game down there was a 24 hours a day game. It never stopped.
Never stopped. The poker game never stopped.
It only stopped when someone got out and they had to go get a new person. These people would wait on a waiting list for like 48 hours to play.
And how many years did she say it ran? It ran for years and years.
A lot. I mean, the only breaks they took were when someone got out and they'd get to go take a bathroom break, wash their face. That's it.
Or go hook up with a lady, or
I don't know if they had that kind of time.
No, they didn't have. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was.
The original chairs and tables.
It was on dirt.
It's still on dirt, just like it was originally.
Yeah. And so then we went back up. They shut out the lights. They set us on the stage. And then the lady proceeded to just do some ghost hunting, some ghost investigations. And honestly, I don't know what you got out of it, but for me, it was like, she asked too many.
It was almost like it was too much of a game.
Too much of a game. Way too much, like, and the people were hearing stuff. I was like, I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
They were like, I'm feeling stuff. I didn't feel nothing.
Of course, I kind of shut down because I didn't want to be there with people I didn't know getting touched and hearing ghosts and shit.
Well,
so.
you know how when you're in a place that it's like, wow, this is creepy.
Yeah.
I feel weird. I feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah.
When I was in there in the dark, I was like, I don't feel anything.
Well, the only thing I felt was because I just don't like the dark and something behind me.
Yeah.
Just open space. So that was the only thing kind of weird to me. It was just like that open. It wasn't open space. It was a damn funeral carriage is what it was. So to me, it was right behind me. So I didn't like that right behind me. And she kept saying that's where a lot of the activity was and stuff. And I was like, great, it's right behind me. So I mentally just shut down and saying, don't touch me, don't bother me. So I think that kind of, as far as possible activity for me or anything, I probably shut that down because they knew not to mess with me at that point. And I don't know. I mean, if there's, because the 2 girls got touched, or they say they did.
Well, they say they did, and they said that they got sick. But
Which
I was
is
sitting in there the whole time, and I was like, it felt no different than me just sitting somewhere, like right here. Like, I just felt like I wasn't even I felt like I wasn't even in the dark.
And and just to give you people a reference, we have done some of our own, if you want to call it ghost hunting or ghost investigations. We have been in rooms of situations where we have had different experiences or chills or
and felt
weird vibes and all those things, and it really didn't have that feeling. And
feel
maybe I mean, like I said, it felt more like a game to that lady to me, and no one would talk, and Bubba was trying to lead it a little bit, but it just felt wrong doing it with people we didn't know, and it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, and like he said, the lady, it felt like she was just kind of playing, like she was acting.
Yeah.
And it felt like that. It felt like it was all just a setup, is the way it felt. And Ghost Hunters has been there, Ghost Adventures, other little ghost shows that are big on TV, and that almost...
It's like once they knew there was activity there, and after those shows have been there, now they've added that to it, and
they try to push it off as, oh, this is we get activity 24/7.
But like all the stories that she was talking about was usually when people were there by themselves, or when one other person was there and they catch stuff out of their eye, or they hear stuff, or they hear footsteps. And I think if you're doing that twice a night, if you truly believe in that kind of activity thing, I mean, if you're doing that twice a night, I mean, doesn't that energy from those spirits and ghosts or whatever run out? I mean, how can it continually be active? And if it's intelligent, they're gonna be like, damn, these new people in here. What are we? I mean,
well, and
I don't know how that works, but
I mean, you would think that even if it was like an intelligent haunting, it'd be like, oh, here's just another group of
people.
Tourists coming in.
Double birds to these people.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it felt a little.
It's like they're playing
commercialized,
and that's what that lady before told us that Tombstone's getting a little commercialized now.
Yeah, and I felt that too.
But the birdcage itself, just the tour itself,
yeah,
was
very interesting.
The history is just amazing.
And was it fun doing that?
Yeah, it was very fun.
It was a lot of fun. But to me, if you're going in there expecting to see a ghost, hear a ghost,
maybe not.
But
she did tell stories like up in the observation decks where they used to look down on the games or whatever. The statue of White Earp was in the
cribs.
The cribs, but it was looking out, and it was in the. Who was the big rival? The
Clantons.
The Clantons. And the cowboy hat every day was on the table down below on the ground, or not on the ground, but the table on the bottom floor on the poker table. Every day they'd come in, it was down there. And as soon as they moved that statue over, that hat has never moved again.
Yeah.
So she was telling us stories like that of personal things that have happened, experiences, people seeing visions on the or seeing things on the catwalk, and seeing something cross the stage, and the piano playing, or something like that, something playing, hearing music, and then one of the tables going across the door, and it took 3 people to get it off the door. So that was all cool, but for me, really the cool part was just the true history of the place.
Yeah. But we're kind of running out of time. But after Tombstone, we got up the next morning because we knew it was going to be a long drive. We said...
And we were on the road by 5 a.m.
Yeah, we got up at 4:30. Pacific time. We said we're out. So we go through Border Patrol right out of Tombstone. And
I was like, great.
we didn't know what to expect, but we go through.
I've been through border security before. Come back from, Cancun or whatever, in the airport or whatever. But this was a little weird you're up north of the border.
Yeah.
I was like, crap, he's going to give us a hard time. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah. So we go through. He looks in our window, looks in the back window, says, all right, you're good to go.
Good to go. And I've seen the videos on YouTube of people giving him a hard time. Listen, I understand the whole, don't stop me for my papers and all that. This is not Nazi Germany and all that. But you know what? The easiest thing to do is just, how you doing, sir? And they're going to wave you through.
Yeah.
And they might check, but they didn't. And then we ended up going through another one.
Yeah, as we were going back home.
After Bubba said, I bet we don't have to go through no more because we're so far north now.
We weren't apparently.
Apparently, we weren't far enough north.
We were right past Las Cruces.
Oh,
actually, we were past White Sands.
White Sands, yeah.
We were in White Sands, New
Which
Mexico.
is, there's a military missile base or some shit out there.
Yeah, that's so we go through another Border Patrol. It's a woman. She comes up to the window. She goes, "You guys U.S. citizens?"
I said, "Yes,
yep.
ma'am."
And she goes, "All right.
Have a good day." I was like, "Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
I'm out."
Long 14-hour drive.
The longest drive.
Going through New Mexico was terribly long. We stopped back in Roswell.
We stopped in Roswell to eat.
We ate at Wendy's.
That was the exact halfway point, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beat some Wendy's up. Beat it up. I ate a triple greasy ass.
I got
Wendy's
the Baconator.
I beat it up.
I got the Baconator, and then back through the long desert, back up through the long panhandle. We were back home.
We back through Hollis, Altus, Lawton. It was the longest drive back, but I'm gonna say I had fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got to do it.
Yeah.
I do recommend, if you're halfway interested in UFOs and stuff, go to Roswell, but try to get that private tour because there's nothing there. Other than that, there's nothing there.
No.
Except for the UFO museum. If you're somewhat interested in Tombstone, the movie, whatever makes you interested in it, go there.
Definitely a cool spot.
Go there.
Saloon everywhere.
I want to go back and just go there alone and spend an extra day and just kind of chill. I'd walk to damn town every day, just not do nothing different. There's a couple things we didn't do. We could have done a mine tour, but it rained, so it flooded, so you couldn't get down in the mine. You can do Jeep tours. There's all kinds of things to do. You could spend a couple days there. We just did what we wanted to do at that point. And hell, have a drink where Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday had a drink. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So
it was a fun trip.
Oh, we went to Boot Hill too while we were there.
Yeah. How did we forget that? We went to Boot Hill.
That was pretty interesting, the stories behind all that.
Yeah.
Just random people dying on the streets, and they just go bury them unknown and stuff.
Yeah. Boot Hill,
it was a cemetery, I
yeah,
guess.
You had to pay to get in. That was kind of like, I'm paying to go look at graves.
Yeah. And the only famous people we knew there was the Clantons. The dad.
Well, we did see a little cross that said Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, we don't. 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. So,
yeah.
So I don't know if that was not him, but
no, it wasn't him.
Pretty comical.
It said S. MacFarlane.
Right.
I was like, Seth MacFarlane died,
and he died one of those 1,000 ways in the West. And Bubba's dropping glasses and stuff.
My bad. I don't even know what I was reaching for. Anyways, that's gonna probably do it for this episode. It's been a long one.
Yeah, we could have went into a lot more details and stuff, but we just wanted to give you a taste of it, and we had fun. Like I said, once again, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's a trip to take. Maybe not do all three like we did in one, but
at least do one of them.
At least do one of them at a time, and I enjoyed it. I had fun. Those 3 bucket list off the list. So.
And with that being said, we're going to end the episode right here. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you want to go check out some video from the trip, you can go to Broad Topic, which you're already there right now if you're watching this on YouTube. Go click on vlog number 1, 2, and The West is Wild.
Peace.
See you guys later.